Alright, chat. As much as I don't want to talk about it, we have to talk about it. Paimon is losing her mind, chat. Paimon has literally went crazy. She's gone to the dark side, chat. Paimon was completely evil the entire time. I knew it. Paimon was the villain. Was the actual villain of Genshin Impact. I knew it. I fucking knew it. It was foretold. Everybody in the subreddit said that Paimon was gonna be the evil person at the very end of the story. We all knew it, chat. We all fucking knew it. Fish gotta swim, birds gotta fly. Karina gotta lose her damn mind. Yep. Alright. Let's see what's been happening. Let's fucking go see it. Paimon was one of those in the pretty. Alright. Lay it on me, Hero. Hey, lay it on me.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. Hope you've had a great weekend. And I gotta come clean about something, okay?
I'll be honest with you. My weekend was fine until we got ourselves another VA thing. And then my weekend was like up here, and now it's all the way down there now.
I was already in the middle of making this video, but it was all so stupid.
Oh no.
That I was actually at a loss for words
oh, no.
like half the time. And I ended up deleting the video because it was just coming out so messed up, because this whole thing is so freaking unbelievable.
Oh no.
So do you remember that Karina, the VA for Paimon, do you remember that Karina video that she made on TikTok?
Yeah.
Where she was like crashing out, getting all angry, all mad?
YouTubers don't know anything. YouTubers don't know anything. They're not voice actors. They've never been in my industry. They don't know what my industry is about. They don't know anything about SAG. They don't know anything about being a non-union actor either. They have more incentive.
Honey, I've done voice acting before, okay? I've done voice acting before. Okay?
To lie. They have more of an incentive to lie because idiots like you fall for their shit and they get paid for that. Hello? So nobody else's opinion that is super fucking wrong anyway matters. Hope this helps.
So yeah, that crash out video, the one I already discussed last week, played the whole thing last week and explained why, in my opinion, your take is terrible. And I also presented a theory about what that crash out video was specifically referring to, because a lot of people thought it was about the Jacob Takanashi stuff, but in fact that crash out video occurred before then. And she was instead probably crashing out over a video that either I made around a month ago, or a video / short that YouTuber Dargos88 made also around a month ago. For anyone curious who hasn't seen my full theory on that, I will link the video where I explain that all in more detail in the description for you, with the timestamp to that part. But back to the main topic for this video. Now that we had a quick refresher about Karina's crash out video, there was a Reddit post I saw yesterday where apparently over on Blue Sky, Karina was saying that video, the crash out video, was actually AI. Let's take a look at this.
No way that she just said that was that. It's AI, chat. Chat, it's AI, you know? Remember, right? She was blaming Tectone for quote-unquote Tectone using AI voice of Karina saying some things or so. Why isn't she you know, going after this person or so, faking, you know, this whole, you know, crash out?
This person on Blue Sky, Noah Gibson, says, OMG, Karina liked my post. Hi Karina, I support you, but I just think your TikTok was a bit bad though. It was just the calling them stupid part. That was the equivalent of Biden calling MAGA garbage, resulting in cash poor winning. You both should have taken Marge's advice. The gif of Marge that they include saying, that's true, but you shouldn't say it. To which Karina responds, get this, says, oh, by the way, I have learned that the TikTok you were talking about was AI. It was not my original TikTok. So yeah, maybe don't listen to Reddit at all. A response from the user Korn saying, did you watch it or are you just letting people lie to you now? It's quite literally from your TikTok account. And another user Diamond saying, Karina is full of it and trying absolutely anything to try and discount any criticism. It's working about as well as you see here. And yeah, most people are calling Karina out for this. However, some people are actually just believing what Karina says. Like, they'll just believe anything, apparently.
Of course.
We'll get more into that later. But first, let's continue with the context, because Noah Gibson returns and says, so this is AI, and you've never said this? I agree that YouTubers don't know anything though. And linking to a Reddit post about the Karina crash out video, to which Karina responds and says, yes, that is AI. And yes, the YouTubers do know, they just don't care. So according to that post, it seems like Karina is saying that the crash out video isn't real. That's not actually her crashing out. That's obviously just AI. And the YouTubers talking about it, they know it's AI. They're just like malicious or something. They're just trying to manipulate people by posting and talking about this AI video that they know is fake or something. Yeah, remember the beginning of this video where I said I already recorded all this and like gave up on the first attempt because this is all so stupid? Exactly. Noah Gibson then responds to Karina and says, all they care about is grifting the outrage for clicks. That's all YouTube is these days. So apparently this person, the voice actress who's like publicly making false accusations about people, that's totally fine. Right? But anyone talking about the crash out videos just grifting, like they're the problem.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine. You know, if she says they're grifting or so, I'm already a grifter, so you can't really do anything about it. Well, quotation marks grifter, okay? All right, chat, remember, I'm a grifter, okay? Apparently. Zico, I told you it would only get worse from here. Oh, God, man, I don't want to talk about this anymore. Well, all I know is that she's stupid. That's about it, you know?
People are actually nuts. Like, this is just insanity. Fortunately, the majority of people aren't like that, and are in fact calling
apparently.
For example, this person, Average Asian Elephant, saying, it's quite literally on your page. Why are you lying? You're just digging a bigger hole for yourself. Another user, Repsu, saying, my dog ate my homework at response. And someone below that's just laughing at her. Oh, my bad. Forgot the one above that too. Says, at least delete your TikTok before this. LMAO, this
yeah,
is
we saw that.
Making
yeah,
this
she's trying to
so much
sue
even more hilarious
Tectone.
Is that what Karina said there would actually get reposted to the Gaming Circle Jerk subreddit. For those that don't know, that subreddit is basically full of modern audience types who constantly lick the boots of corporations and will take a stance against gamers no matter what stance that is. For example, like last month when a lot of gamers were critiquing Ubisoft and AC Shadows, that subreddit was constantly defending Ubisoft and AC Shadows.
Of course.
Like I said, basically their entire thing is gamer bad. And they don't even circle jerk, like they're actually serious about it. They've completely lost the plot. We can see that here, for example, in the aforementioned post, which reads, Karina, the voice of Paimon, confirms that the Genshin subreddit used AI for her to spread misinformation. I love how her just being flat out wrong is confirming that post, also getting over 1,000 upvotes and becoming a top post there for the day. One of the top responses there says, I'm going to say this once. This is, or at least should be, considered defamation. It's a complete line made to tear down someone's reputation.
It's funny how, like, you know, how I said before that, like, Tectone is getting sued by Karina, right? But, like, she hates Tectone for quote-unquote using AI to do the thing, even though Tectone didn't do it, right? And then, like, she's saying that, like, oh, yeah, these subredditors or whatever, the Genshin community or whatever, used AI to, like, you know, do this fake video or so. Okay, if that's true, right? Where's that same aggression or so when you were going after Tectone for quote-unquote him using AI? Why aren't you doing the same thing? You know, where's that same mentality, you know? It doesn't even look like it to me, you know? You're not like, oh, I'm gonna sue whoever did this, you know? I don't see that anywhere, in my personal opinion.
This is the very definition of defamation. Except that didn't happen. And the person lying here is actually Karina. However, the Genshin subreddit would ultimately find out that they were getting talked about over on Gaming Circle Jerk, with users back over on the Genshin Impact subreddit saying things like, I think it's dumb to try and lie and say this was AI when it's clearly not. And even dumber for Gaming Circle Jerk for falling for such an obvious lie. Gaming Circle Jerk falls for anything you tell them, as long as it fits their goal, which seems to be 90% politics and 10% random stuff. Honestly, quite good for a laugh. There are no humans in that sub. Got curious and skimmed through the comments there. I shouldn't have. Some of the Genshin Impact subreddit users then going over to Gaming Circle Jerk and refuting what they say there. For example, back on the Gaming Circle Jerk post about Karina, and the comment we took a look at a moment ago saying, this should be considered defamation. they would get a response that reads, "How is it defamation if they uploaded the supposed AI video? If it's AI, wouldn't they be a user of AI themselves?" And the OP of the
True.
King Circle Jerk Karina post saying, "I think they meant a different video of an AI of Paimon calling out Karina directly. She's been really tired from being at the hospital all weekend, I'm sure." Someone else says, "LMAO, the video they're talking about is obviously the TikTok one. It's in the picture. I think y'all need to learn how to read." It doesn't fit their narrative, so of course they refuse to read. However, back on Blue Sky, there would be a bit of a plot twist. So we already read this part where Noah Gibson linked the crash out video over on Reddit, to which Karina said, "Yes, that's AI, and yes, the YouTubers do know it, they just don't care." Corin then saying, "Is this not your TikTok account?" and linking to that very video on her very TikTok account. Noah Gibson once again commented saying, "Karina, this is bad. You gotta say something fast." Another user, Patrick, would say, "There was a post about a smaller channel that used AI, not for this TikTok," referring to the crash out video presumably. "It's a different video, which Tectone watched on stream. My guess is maybe things got mixed up, and Karina didn't check this Reddit link," to which Karina actually responds and says, "This is exactly what happened." So you're telling me that Tectone watched a video where someone used AI to make Paimon say something,
Bruh.
which in fact that video does exist, and I'll show you in a moment.
This is literally a bruh moment. And then also on top of that, you want to know something too? This is also this kind of meme too as well. I wish I had this as a redeem. I might add this as a redeem later in the future, but like... Straight up. It's literally that kind... I just do I even consider her as a VA now these days? I guess anyone can be a VA, right? I guess anyone can be a VA now.
About that drama, if Genshin indeed went union, would we get lower gacha price? Or even higher character chances? Cause if not, no one gives a prick about these kind of people.
People and their impulsive decisions, I know, tell me about it.
But you're telling me that for some reason that video got posted to Reddit. Maybe it did.
Thank
maybe
you for
it
the
didn't,
follow.
but
Welcome,
I can't find
welcome.
that Reddit post. Allegedly, that's a thing.
We're
though.
adding you to the lawsuit.
And
Shut the
you're telling
fuck
me
up.
Karina knows about that Reddit post. And then on Karina's Blue Sky, when people were linking a Reddit post that's very clearly not about that, but about her crash out video, and we can all see very clearly that Karina responded to that saying that's AI. That somehow she thought that Reddit post, which again was very clearly about the crash out video, was in fact not about the crash out video, but instead about Tectone watching some AI Paimon on stream? How the frick do you even mix that up? And you know what? I am actually willing to give Karina benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to believe that she did mix those videos up, but I still don't understand how she mixed those two up when the post that she's responding to is so clearly about her crash out video. And for her to then accuse YouTubers of knowing it's AI and saying that we just don't care when she's the one who's completely wrong about all this is just ridiculous. Like, dude, the frick are you doing? And let me also say that I apologize if I repeated some of my words right there. I've recorded this part multiple times too because all of this is so stupid that I'm having a hard time even putting it into words and like commenting on this.
Know
Here's
your
the last
fucking
thing we'll take a
place,
look at from 1 day
trash.
ago on Tectone's channel, more Tectone. We can see a video titled Paimon's Voice Actor.
I usually kind of wait for all the news stuff to come out.
This is Backlash, and the entire video is Tectone reacting to a video titled Paimon VA vs Bootleg AI Paimon Genshin Impact Announcement. And I'll play like 10 seconds of this for you to take a look at yourself. This is the one that apparently got posted to Reddit that somehow Karina knows about and somehow mixed up the crash out video with or something. Yeah, you get the point.
Paimon herself roasting?
Hi, this isn't Paimon, or even her voice actor. I'm just the guy that redubbed Dragon Maid for fun a while back and got yeeted from the internet. This message is for Karina. You are an absolute worthless scab and a hypocrite. You are way worse than most scabs.
Damn.
Most scabs are smart enough to shut up when they get caught flip-flopping on their principles.
So yeah, there you go.
Jesus
And just
Christ.
believe Karina. I find it hilarious that Tectone inadvertently caused Karina to have this like ridiculous mix-up. We've now had Karina having a complete crash out over either my video or Darko88's video or both of our videos, and now like an extremely ridiculous mix-up situation over this Tectone.
She got butthurt over
Paimon
that.
video
That's
thing,
crazy.
if once again we're to believe what Karina is saying apparently. And yeah, with that, I'm going to end this video. I cannot believe how long it took me to record this simple video. This was all just so much stupidity that I think I need to go full venti now and have a drink. And when I say a drink, I mean like 50. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the coverage.
I know, tell me about
this made at least a little bit of sense. All of this did. And again, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you did enjoy, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one.
I don't know anymore.
Well, it's official.
I don't even know anymore, to be honest. At this point, I'm just kind of like, man, she really needs
guys,
to
make
learn
opportunity.
to shut up, straight up.
Have you seen the Vitali news? Bro tried to act like Johnny Somali here and he got immediately arrested after 2 days
You're
of
late.
him posting his vid.
You're late.
But unlike Somali, he ain't gonna survive a week here. And spoiler, if he ever tried that stunt on other cities, he would be immediately under 6 feet within a night.
You're late. You're late on that. You're way late. Super late on that, actually. But yeah. Honestly, why? I'm not even surprised, to be honest, at the end of the day. Karina's probably... I would not be surprised if Karina actually gets fired and replaced by a new, different VA. Like I said, mijoyo, you want someone who is non-union? I got you right here. I'll do sassy Latina mom, you know, Paimon voice, you know? I will come in with a lowrider. If Malvika can come in with a goddamn motorcycle, I'll come in with a fucking lowrider, okay? Flying is for bitches now. I'll tell freaking Hoyoverse. Okay, I'll do the VA, but like, can I have a lowrider though? I'll fucking do it, bro. I will do it, you know? I'll be like, oh, you need a sassy Latina? I got you. I'll be the sassy Latina mom. Ko as Paimon and that little shit will suddenly become one of the most favorite characters. Yeah, I don't really do too many lolly voices, but at the end of the day, you know, I practice my lolly voices from time to time, you know, just because I want to have a nice wide range of like vocal tones. That's the only reason why. So I can build like stronger muscles and then also be able to sound, you know, different, you know, be able to sound a lot more different and then be able to pull off, you know, different voices, sound differently, not just kind of have, you know, be basically like a one trick, one pony type of thing, right? Like, don't get me wrong, right? Doing these kinds of voices feels so nice, right? But like being able to do like, you know, being able to go up, you know, in the vocal tone, like this. Let me see. Hi, it's nice to meet everybody. I hope everyone's doing well today. And yeah, I hope that we can be nice and good friends together. So yeah, something like that, you know. Well, to be honest, I haven't really warmed up my voice or anything like that, but yeah, you know, stuff like that, you know. And that's the only reason why, you know, it would be pretty cool at the end of the day. I just explained the reason why I would want to do a lolly voice creator. Shaking my head. You're not paying attention. Anyways, no, I'm just joking. Anyways, but yeah, at the end of the day, Karina, just stop. Just get off the internet. Go do something else. Holy shit, dude. Go get a hobby. Do something else. Also, I don't consider you as an eldritch being, okay? All right? You're not considered as an eldritch being. Just letting you guys know, chat. She literally says she's an ancient eldritch, you know, god, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a big fat phony. That's a big fat phony. But yeah, anyways. Enough rambling, enough talking.
No. Karina's only choice left is to become an emergency food for Ether.
Nar.
Eventually, you can get so good at voice acting you can sell custom voice packs. Bully Chat Custom Pack Doko. Kappa HD.
Shut the fuck up. A fake idol that needs to be burned. I wouldn't say that. I think in my personal opinion, she should face repercussions. She should face repercussions of what she's doing, to be honest. She should be fired from the voice of Paimon and just get a new VA to do Paimon's voice at this point. You know, she should be fired, you know. At this point, she has left such a giant black stain in not just only the VA, like the VA industry, right? But like Paimon itself. You know, Paimon in the English dub, you know? People who like actually listen to EN dubs, right? Because there are people who listen to EN dubs, right? Now they can't look at Paimon the same way anymore, you know? Ever since, you know, if people who have been keeping tabs on this story, specifically on the whole Genshin VA drama shit that's been happening, right? Of Karina's crash out, and people are just playing EN dub or so for, you know, because, you know, it's whatever, you know, maybe they like a certain VA or so in EN, right? And Lord and behold, they see Paimon differently now because of this issue. So I don't blame them. I don't blame them to changing Japanese. There's a lot of people who change from English EN dub to Japanese because, hey man, I don't blame you. You know, fucking, you know, what's been happening in the EN side has leaving everybody a bad taste in their mouth, you know? Brand damage, considering Paimon is literally the mascot of the game. Yeah, she's literally the icon of the fucking game itself, you know? The only ones who would still listen to Genshin EN dub is if they're literally unaware about the drama. Yeah, that's only if they don't know anything about the drama. But yeah. Anyways, I don't want to continue rambling on. This is kind of like beating a dead horse at this point, you know? But yeah. But if there's any more developments, we'll cover it as well. We'll take a look at it. We'll watch it, you know. I like voice acting. Voice acting is one of my passionate things I used to do quite a lot. And yeah, that's the end of the video. And for the God's sakes, EN VAs, get your shit together. Learn from the Japanese VAs of how they're doing their stuff. And peace.